Now let the beat ride.
What's good, everybody? Welcome to Hot Chicago, episode 22, baby. As you notice, our boy JV is not on this episode tonight, but it's cool because we got a very special guest, the homie Saucin. I call her Saws. You feel me? Saucin, give the people a little bit about you, right? Who are you? What do you do? Let us know.
So, I was born and raised in Chicago.
Facts.
I live in Los Angeles.
Hey, must be nice.
And yeah, I moved out here to pursue acting and modeling. And I'm out here representing people with disabilities, people of colors. I'm a minority. I'm Palestinian, and of course, women.
So I love women, number one. Number two, quick question though. You said you're acting and modeling, right? But with the disability. Number one, what's the disability? And then two, how's that going?
So my disability is called spinal muscular atrophy.
Okay.
It's a type of neuromuscular disease that in like 10 words basically means that all of the major muscles in my body can't grow.
That was 10 words. Holy shit. Okay.
So yeah, that's the simplest way to put it.
No, but I'm here for it. I think that's super fucking dope and courageous of you. 100%, right? So are you gonna star in like a sitcom soon? You gonna be in a movie? Like, where are we at?
Well, right now because of COVID, I'm not really doing much with acting, to be honest. Everything's a little. When I first moved out to Los Angeles, I was killing it. You know, I got my agent ready,
Okay.
up and running. I was going on auditions like at least once a week. And, you know, within 4 months of moving here, I got my first gig, which was awesome.
That's badass.
And so I was killing it. And then, you know, COVID hit and everything kind of changed. And everything's a little bit on hold right now. I'm hoping to get back into it. But in the meantime, you know, just I'm making my own content. I started a new show called the Two Peas Show, or Two Peas in a Placard, with my friend. And, you know, we both have a disability and want to represent and want to just make content while we got the time, and we want to make people laugh, and we want to talk about important topics and just, you know, put it out there, make ourselves feel good for producing our own content.
And that's really hard to do. So for the people that are listening, how can they find your content?
YouTube and Instagram, at Two Peas Show, like the number 2 Peas, Peas show.
Okay.
Nice.
Lit. So thank you for that. Plug that again at the end of the episode. I definitely want people to check you out. Before we dive in, let me see how my regulars are doing. MC, how you feeling? You good?
I'm doing better now that I've survived a car accident and moving my mom all the way from Illinois to Texas, and then taking care of my boyfriend who was in a motorcycle accident. So yeah, it's just been a lot going on, normal life, you know, and then there's COVID. So
There's one person on this planet that I would never want to be, and that's you. That's just me specifically. You have too much going on every day.
That's really fair.
Jesus Christ. Please simmer down.
Tomorrow's my first day back at work, and guess what time I get to go in?
4 a.m.
5
4
a.m.
a.m.
That's the
4
worst.
a.m.
That's the worst shifts for people.
Sure.
I swear to God. But I'm glad to see you're doing okay enough to record a podcast episode. Thank you for that. Aaron, how you feeling, my guy?
Feeling good. Just a little tired, so just want to make sure we get through this and I don't fall asleep on this episode.
I'll edit it out if you do. It's fine.
Hope I'll snore on the mic, man.
Make fun of you, put little post-its while you're sleeping on the recording.
Facts. And thank you guys again for listening to High Chicago. Please tune in via YouTube. Please tune into any channel that you get your podcast on. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts. We are all over the place. We got you. We love you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Give us a rating. Give us feedback. Saucin, the reason I brought you on the show is because Mary Claire said you're down to talk about anything, right? Including like some wild or weird shit to some normal people, right? So I want to hear your opinion on the wild shit that my guy Aaron's gonna present. Aaron, what you got for us?
All right, so I got this guy who's on Tinder, right?
You're like your guy?
Yeah, mommy, right?
Okay.
He was on Tinder, and he ended up matching with this poly couple. Now, it's a same-sex, masculine-female poly couple. I'd want to know specifically from you, Sauce, what's your thoughts on polyamorous couples?
So now, Aaron, for the people that don't know what that is, can you explain it?
Oh, polyamorous couple is just a couple that is essentially in an open relationship. It can be one person going off and doing their thing, or they can play as a couple, which Mary Claire, if you heard from our episode about Will and Jada, she's had experience with that situation already.
Wild.
But yeah. So, Saz, what is your thoughts on polyamorous couples?
I mean, I'm all for it.
What?
I'm the kind of person. I'm all for it. Why not? Okay, let me tell you. Okay, so first of all, poly relationships, like, I come from a Muslim family. It is very common in Middle Eastern culture that for men to be married to multiple wives. Now that there's a lot of things that I don't know if I agree with on that side of things and the cultural side, but as far as like open relationships go, like if people can make it work and the trust and the communication is built in there, why not?
Because you come from a culture that does it, and you just say you don't agree with all the parts of it. So which part of it don't you agree with if you're for it?
Okay, the parts that I don't agree with and is that in my culture it's very, how can I say this?
Spit it out. Fuck it.
Male focused? Is that what you're...
There's a huge double standard.
That's everywhere though, but go ahead.
Yeah, where, you know, in Middle Eastern culture, it's very patriarchal. And, you know, the man can have multiple wives, but the woman is not allowed to. And there's like weird reasons that I don't understand fully, where it's like, if your wife is sick and can't like basically be there at your
when you're ready
to help
to
you. What?
So when you're ready to get it.
Oh my God.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
like you know, the wife plays a role in old school culture, and some people still live by this culture in Middle Eastern, in the Middle Eastern realm, where the wife is there to cook, to clean, to be there to take care of the kids, and so on and so forth. And so if the wife is not able to do, you know, certain tasks that is expected of a wife, then it basically is a reason that a man would get another wife. So it's reasons like that that I don't agree with. But if it's like, you know, you're trying to, you know, express yourself or want to experience new things or whatever it is in that sense, where there's like I said, that trust and that communication built where both partners are very okay with it. Yes.
How can you trust anybody that is okay with being in a, what'd you call it, Aaron, a
polyamorous relationship?
Polyamorous relationship. That's the
You should
craziest fucking concept
read the show
I've
docs,
ever heard of.
sir.
Listen, I read what the fuck, like, the concept of it was, and my mind was too blown to remember anything else.
Okay, so think of it this way, though. Let's just say you have another couple friend, okay? And you both have a lot in common. You talk about so many things that kind of coincide with one another. And when the two guys are kicking it back, they can actually talk about stuff that happens with their women, and they have something in common, okay?
It's called a friend,
now,
okay?
Okay. Picture
Wow.
the four of you hanging out, and for some reason one thing turns to another, and then you end up trying new things, or you feel an attraction towards one or the other. Like, that's what that means, you know? Like,
how could the four of you be hanging out and then one thing just turn into another?
it happens.
Maybe I'm stupid and ignorant.
I've been there, done that before, and I did not expect it to happen, didn't think it would happen, and then boom, there you go, it happened, and I was like, whoa, I just did 5 things I didn't think I'd ever do in my life.
Is there alcohol involved in these situations, or
There
are you
has to
doing
be.
them fully sober?
Actually, we had 2 drinks before we went so that we could loosen up a little bit because we were nervous.
Were they
Because
drugged?
we knew we were going to talk about those things openly with this other couple, and then like I said, we started playing some games, but there was no alcohol involved. Like, it wasn't drinking games or anything, because you have to make sure you're responsible when you do stuff like that. You can't be intoxicated and like making wrong decisions, because you'll scare yourself and turn around and say otherwise, you know? So when you have a clear mind going into it, you would be so surprised the things you allow yourself to have permission to do.
And Sean, it seems like you're very against just the whole idea in general.
Because it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
Right? Because you're single at that point. None of it. So at this point, you guys are just all single motherfuckers doing what you want.
No.
Right?
Time out. So, I have a great example for you.
Shoot.
Ooh, there we go.
Asexuality is very real.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you have somebody that you love,
Mm-hmm.
but they are asexual, but you are a very sexual person,
Mm-hmm.
and you need that part of a relationship, but you know, obviously you don't want to cheat, but you don't want to leave this person that's asexual because you love them for all the other reasons that make them them.
Sean, are you
Then
comprehending?
Yeah, so yes, I comprehend, bitch.
Okay.
So then that couple may have a discussion of like, hey, would it be okay to bring in another person to fulfill this part of the relationship that I need without leaving you? This is just an example.
Okay.
There's so many different reasons and things that people want to do and experience and feel.
I don't think you can be in love with someone without being physical.
And see, that's why I wanted Sean. That's why I asked you, do you comprehend? Because there are situations where you really, and maybe it's like more of a friendly thing, but you do feel like you can't live without that person.
You're in love with a person.
Right, but if there's no sex on the table,
then you're not in love.
You feel like that's not possible.
You enjoy their companionship. Okay, cool, no problem. You enjoy the conversation. Okay, no problem.
Then you don't understand asexuality.
Yeah.
Which part of that am I missing?
The asexual part.
The sexual part. The sexual part. That's what you're missing.
The lack of sexual part.
Right.
Right. Lack of.
So you feel like you can't be in love with someone unless
you
have sex with them?
I feel like the in love part, like, that's a big deal.
But you are saying that in order to be in love with somebody, it requires physical sexual activity.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Do you know what asexuality is?
Tell me what I'm missing. Obviously, I'm missing something.
So asexuality is the lack of sexual attraction to others.
Right, which I don't believe in. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Like, let's be clear. It exists in my mind. Aaron, go ahead, please.
He's just saying that he doesn't think that there's a possibility of love without physical contact.
Correct.
So
That's
you're
what I'm
saying
saying.
that all these people that are asexual have no chance of finding love.
Goodness. Okay, so before Sean gets us canceled, let's talk about
everyone who's asexual to attack him in the comments.
Run it.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
Let's talk about.
Do you know?
Sorry, I wanted to ask Mary Claire one question about if it was a situation, your situation with the poly relationship, if it was a situation where it was one couple or if it was multiple couples over time. Because I've seen situations where it will be like we have this friend group and it's just us and that's all it is. And there's no outside people coming in. It's just 4 people and they're in a, I guess, relationship.
So I guess that's the differentiation between swinging and being in a polyamorous like relationship, because there's an actual bond there, whereas being in an open relationship and going to swingers clubs, those kind of thing, it's very like undefined so far, if that makes sense. So I've only really been in one, attempt to be in one, ended up not really
one poly relationship.
Yeah.
You attempted to be in a oh, this is breaking news.
Yeah. Well, you never asked, so.
That was not one of the lines of questioning. That's correct.
It was not. So it was an attempt. It was a very fair attempt, but it didn't work out in my favor. And so I said to the person I, loved at the time, I was like, if it can't be fair, then it can't be at all. And that's when we made the decision to not take part in it anymore. But that's also how I found out other things about him. So, it was an attempt to be more than one couple.
Right.
But it barely worked out with the one couple. So I was like, what's the point of adding another 2 in here if this isn't even going to work?
My brain is exploding right now.
And here's one thing, Sean, there's a movie that I watched. I can't remember what it's called, but there was a guy who was in love with a girl, but he was gay. That was the situation. Yeah, I know. It's weird. Apparently that's a thing, but he was in love with the girl.
Okay.
Anyway, he was in love with the girl. They brought a third person into the relationship who was bisexual, and they each had sex with that guy. That's the sort of relationship where her situation is a little more or less the third person having sex, but that's a situation where it can essentially be like a triangle type deal with the polyamorous relationship.
No one's worried about like diseases with this shit.
My God!
You'd only be dedicated to these people.
Trust and communication.
Right. In a relationship of any kind, it doesn't matter what type, they still need communication.
I get that, but communication between 2 is different than communication between 4 to 8.
And it's still just as complicated as 2, and sometimes it's easier with 4, believe it or not.
Yeah. Usually polyamorous relationships, I don't think, go as far as 8 people, Sean, but
at this point I'm learning all type of new shit, so I don't really know.
Anyway.
But that's to me, that's, I don't know, bro. That's the concept of that is wild to me. Like, why would you want to share someone? Like, the fact that in Saucy's culture they can have multiple wives, right? It sounds good, but like for what? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot.
Well, like she said, there's certain things that maybe one of the wives can't do.
I know. So you find the one wife that can do it all. But then also it's bullshit that you can't have multiple husbands.
But then you're literally limiting yourself. Okay, here's the thing. You're saying that as if people can control who they fall in love with.
Right.
Okay.
So what if you fell in love with somebody and they didn't want to put out for God knows how long, but you were like, I like this person so much, I don't care what it is. And then
look at my last
relationship.
Hello.
You are in so deep, and then all of a sudden you find out whatever it is about them, and you're just gonna say, I don't love you anymore?
No. Your question was to me, what if they don't put out for like so long? Right? Or you say it could be anything though, is that what you're saying?
Well, because you're focusing a lot on the sex.
Take the sex out of the equation. The fact that there could be 4 individuals who could be okay with being together in a relationship, quote unquote, without the sex, right? Then how do you define that they're in a relationship? Where are you guys going on dates? Like, what's the exclusivity of that?
It's an agreement between all 4 of those people, and the intimacy level and the
intimacy. What do you mean by intimacy? Be specific.
Intimacy can be anything. It doesn't have to be sex. Intimacy can be how close you hold each other, how you look out for one another, how you support one another.
Cuddling, emotional support.
So many ways
for them.
I don't know. So Aaron,
we should just get you some more scenarios so you can brush up on your.
Yeah.
No, because to me, I guess when I'm thinking about being in a relationship with somebody, like top of mind isn't necessarily like cuddling, as you guys just so threw out there, right? So Aaron, you're telling me right now, hey, somebody offers you a relationship, right? Like this, you're gonna go for it, no problem.
No. I would have to be comfortable with whatever the terms are.
And you didn't even talk about the masculine feminine part of it. We didn't talk about that yet either.
No, that is true. So this was a lesbian couple that was a masculine and a feminine. So in situations like that, I think the girl was looking for essentially a playmate outside of her relationship with her
that's understanding
masculine girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
yes,
Aaron,
perhaps
you would be with a masculine woman in this.
No.
I'm asking Aaron specifically.
So would I?
Yeah, if you present with a scenario with a masculine and feminine female, would you be okay with that scenario?
No, probably not, man.
Probably not.
I do prefer my women to be feminine, if that makes sense. Like I've had people on websites like me, and they all dress in like nothing but masculine clothes, and I swipe left. That's just what it is because I'm not really attracted to women who present themselves in that way.
But that's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to be,
That's
but
what
you're not out here being like Sean and
No.
saying that asexual people don't exist and can't have love.
I didn't say they don't exist. I acknowledge them. to a
No,
certain
he
extent.
exists, but you said they cannot find love.
I don't
they're
see
weird.
I don't see how you can fall in love with someone without some sort of physical something. Yes.
On and they gonna curse your ass out.
But
Man,
okay,
wow.
but
Can't wait to share
physical
this.
can be like cuddling.
It can be kissing.
That's gonna be a no for
Can
me,
be
dog.
kissing,
Think
hugging.
about highly religious couples too. You know, like they don't necessarily.
So yeah, there's one. Sean, what about couples who abstained from sex until marriage? Have they not fallen in love until they had sex after getting married?
No, I think they're fucking wild. But again, it's out there. It exists. No, listen. Again, I just want to be very, like what I'm not disagreeing with what you guys are saying. Like I understand everything you guys are saying. I understand. The concept of this shit though is just crazy to me. All of it.
Okay.
Especially the asexual shit, and especially the open relationship with 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people.
Jesus, you're adding more and more people every single time.
The minute we talk about this, Sean just pictures a 10-person orgy.
That's all it's all this in his mind is just an orgy. Because that's the only way it can exist.
Except per saws, there's no orgy.
So
It's 10% cuddling.
I can't.
That's a thing that exists, just so you know.
I can't remember who I heard this from or why I know this. There was a couple, they were 2 males, and one liked like very kinky, rough sex, and one was very like vanilla.
Okay.
So one thing that they did, because they loved each other, wanted to stay together, was bring in another person to fulfill that part of their relationship.
So basically, you guys are looking for a hall pass, is the way I'm understanding it.
It's not a hall pass.
It's not a hall
It's
pass.
an agreement that you make with your partner.
These are all examples, you know,
Right.
like there's so many different reasons why people can have polyamorous relationships, and I've just named a couple like different examples, but there's so many different reasons that could go into why people do it.
So then what happens if you break the rules, Mary Claire? You break the agreement.
If you break the agreement, it's broken. What do you mean?
So you guys break up?
Then that would be considered cheating.
So, for example, I was in a relationship and one of us went and did things outside of the agreement, and I didn't find out about it until after the fact. That's considered cheating. The relationship is done. That's it. I mean, not everyone's different. Some people forgive and forget, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe in forgiving and forgetting. Everyone does everything with different intentions. So.
Okay.
There you go.
Aaron, that works for you?
Yeah, I mean, for what we've been discussing here, I think it's fine as long as people agree upon it in their relationship and they're comfortable with it. I'm all for it. And to be honest with you, I'd probably get involved if I felt like the situation was right for me and meshed with whatever's going on in their relationship.
And that's why I want to ask Saws next. Mary Claire, I clearly know your answer, right? But Saws, so is this for you?
I don't think so, but at the same time, I'm open to open relationship.
But not for you specifically.
No, for me. So polyamorous relationships and open relationships are a little different.
Right. But I guess which one are you open to?
Open relationships.
But not okay. Why?
But not poly.
I'm curious, why aren't you going to ask me? You don't know my answer.
You're predictable.
You're predictable. Jesus.
Okay.
No, I'm just talking shit. I want to finish with Saws and I got you. So the difference for you is what? Like why you're open to one but not the other?
Polyamorous relationships is when you have multiple partners and boyfriends, wives, whatever, husbands, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
where there's multiple people. Open relationships is more so not monogamy in the sense of being okay having multiple sexual partners, but maybe not emotionally having that other person available to you.
Okay.
Basically a fuck buddy on the
Yeah,
side.
I was gonna say that, but yes.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Okay, MC, the world wants to know, where do you stand?
I say no. I've been there, done that, tried it, and
Because she's already gone through it.
I'm about to be 27, and I've realized like I do want to be a little selfish. I want somebody to myself, and I want to only be somebody else's. So I'm done sharing.
So you learned through it. You learned through experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you
Fair
ever
enough.
brought that up with Clarence once?
Sylvester.
Oh, that's right.
What's his
If
name?
y'all could get his name right. Yeah, actually, we talk about it pretty often.
Often. Why often? Just curious.
Because we reminisce on things we've done or stupid shit we've done. And it's funny. It's nice to have somebody to
Fair
talk
enough.
with that's not judgmental or like understands what you've gone through. So
I know I've been judging you for months now.
you're judgmental.
As
That's all
fuck.
Sean is, man.
Facts. Aaron, what you got for us, man? Anything else?
No, man. That's but I enjoy what you guys brought to this conversation for sure about polyamorous relationships. I'm sure Sean learned a lot, for sure.
My mind is still the same.
Yeah,
Sean got a lot
it's
to
unmoving.
learn.
Sean has an unmoving mind. It's crazy.
Old. My thoughts are old.
You know what's gonna be so funny, guys, is when when they rewatch it and they go through it, I can already see my sister's face now.
Oh,
Not to
my
me though,
goodness.
because like in my mind, I said what she wanted me to say.
There you go. You
No,
got
no.
it right.
Oh, but she's gonna
Oh,
judge the
no.
fuck out of all three of you for sure.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. I'm used to being judged by her, man.
definitely.
Oh shit! All right, Aaron, bring us home, man.
All right. Well, you want no final thoughts, man? Let's have Saz plug her podcast one more time, or
Please, yeah.
YouTube channel one more time.
Get it.
At 2P's Show on Instagram and YouTube, 2P's in a placard. And my personal Instagram is at @SauceandZachariah_.
Yeah.
Future Hollywood actress.
As a matter of fact,
you heard it here first.
And Sean, make sure you put that down in the description just in case anybody missed it. All right.
I got you, big homie.
All right. That's all we got time for today, guys. Let us know your thoughts on poly
Please,
relationships.
because I know I can't be the only one that thinks this way. There's no fucking way.
And also, if you're asexual, give Sean all the shit in the comments. Just give him all the shit in the comments.
Ooh,
Sean, your feelings are valid, but I think you need to educate yourself a little bit more.
No, actually, I'm 100% educated on the fact that this idea is wild as fuck. All of it.
Oh my god.
All of it.
Anyway, and make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at HiChicago312. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. We really appreciate the support we've gotten lately. Honestly, it's been amazing.
We love you guys.
And until next time, peace.